How do I not be lonely in 2025? Or how do I not be lonely generally? A question that so many of us either consciously or unconsciously ask ourselves every day. And for those who may have never met me before, my name's Harry. I've been dedicated to learning about human behavior, psychology, and what we all need on such a deeper level the last 7 to 8 years. And part of that journey, I've been practicing and rocking out as a life coach. And there's a lot of different things I've noticed that can happen for us as an individual when we are on our own, and even maybe we're at work, or maybe we could be with the friends we've always been with, and we're feeling this sense of loneliness. It's a big thing that can pop up. And I trust just by that sentence there, you've already bridged the gap that we can feel lonely even with those we love the most. Some of us even feel lonely in the relationships that we call our lifelong partner. We can feel lonely or empty with somebody who we thought our soulmate was. And so loneliness can be such a destructive problem for so many of us. And what are three main reasons why in this day and age we can feel lonely? Maybe we're obsessed to screens or scrolling on screens more so than connecting with faces. Just in this view here, I've got one screen here, another screen right next to it. There's a screen in front of me recording me now. In this day and age, when it's more common for us to see more screens than faces, or look into a screen more so than looking into somebody's face. That's a truth for probably most people. I see more screens than faces. Or I see more faces on a screen than I do in real life. So that's one thing. We can be obsessed to scrolling screens. That's going to contribute to our loneliness. Maybe we're daydreaming of past relationships, friendships that we've had in the past. Oh, that's a big one. If you ever caught yourself thinking of a relationship, maybe when you're in a new relationship and you're caught thinking of another relationship and you feel like kind of caught between the two. This happens. Maybe we're just by ourselves. We're going for a walk and we start thinking of that person we used to have, whether it was intimate, whether it was just friendship. We can get caught there, thinking of what was, thinking of what used to be. That's a big one. That's keeping us lonely. Then lastly, the biggest one is avoiding time with ourselves. It's avoiding presently being with me. Most of us are dedicating our days of how can I distract myself from where I currently am? How can I just get away from this massive thing so many of us are currently facing? And those three key things, whether it's being more obsessed with screens, being caught in the past with all the beautiful relationships that could be there, or simply not connecting with self, with me, of how I am right now, is a consistent thing where so many of us, because of these three things, are just caught in this cycle of loneliness. Day by day, as time goes on, our emotional home becomes loneliness. And it sucks. It sucks because so many of us are actually in this state. And in a world where we're the most connected at the press of a button, internally we are most disconnected. And unfortunately, so many of us are feeling this way. So many of us are walking around as vessels, empty vessels, as people in my generation have called them, NPCs, non-playable characters. And so many of us walk around like this and we connect with our families, connect with those we love as that NPC state, that unconscious, asleep, in our head state. And as Tony Robbins says, if you're in your head, you're dead. And so if you want to start changing this and start feeling more connected, more fulfilled in life, here's some steps on how you can no longer be lonely. So the title of this video, How Not to Be Lonely. And so the first thing we can do is connect with nature. Such a simple thing. Connect with the world outside. Even just looking outside right now, seeing the trees. There's a natural thing within us that lights up as we're around nature. So that's one thing. Get out of your usual area. Stop being in, a house full of stuff. Like around me, there's so much stuff around me, but behind me, there's just like a lot of stuff as well. There's just all these different things. Get out of it all. Connect with nature. Connect with simplicity. Because our mind can only comprehend so many things, and with the world we're in, where all these different gadgets are just trying to capture our attention, remind us of something, we can just get overwhelmed with so much of what's going on. So lessen what's around you. Go connect with nature. Go connect with simplicity. The next is mind your current relationships. It's funny how much we can be caught in the best moments of all these relationships we may have had. And because of this, we can forget to mind the relationships we have today and start creating the new best moments that could potentially come into fruition today. We're all caught up in those beautiful things, and that moment with our mum, that moment with our dad, that moment with our brother, our moment with our new best friend, or the best friend we've always had, or that your girlfriend you've been with for years, or your girlfriend who you've just started this brand new journey with. Wherever you're at, whatever relationship it is, maybe it's even simply yourself. Maybe you're in a situation where you're all you've got, and you're sitting there thinking of all those other relationships, whether it was that best friend from 10 years ago, or it might have been that relationship that just, maybe it was your first relationship ever, so you're just caught in it, stuck there. What doesn't happen is the moments that can be utilized today to turn into those brand new moments that maybe you remember 10 years from now, and you're sitting back and you go, oh, remember that moment? That was beautiful. And it's not something you're caught in. It's just another moment that you can enjoy and not use and abuse to just feel good about how you are now because you had something cool of yesterday. So stop being caught in the past and start minding your relationships of today. And lastly, it's be present to how you're feeling right now. Even if you are feeling lonely, what most of us do when we feel lonely is we try to avoid that fact by either quickly trying to connect with somebody on our phones, or watching videos until that feeling disappears, or doing something to change how we currently are. Stop this. Connect with how you currently are and be present to that. It's okay to feel how you're feeling now, even if that's not a great feeling. Like sadness, like loneliness, even anger. Whatever's coming up with you right now, it's there. And it's not there for you to avoid it, for you to suppress it. It's there because it has matter, it has meaning. And even if you're not sure of that meaning, and all you have is that feeling, and that feeling might be loneliness, I think rather than avoiding it some more, it deserves some space to be recognized, seen, heard by you. So wherever that feeling is in your body, it might be in your gut, it might be in your heart, wherever it is, feel into that and be present to it. Instead of numbing it out, be with it. Because being with yourself is not being lonely. They're two different things. In the last 7 years, as I've been working on myself, dedicating more and more space to take care of me and give myself what I need, I notice now more so than ever, I get this sense of I'm with me. I'm with how I am right now. I've got myself. And that feeling, that knowing, is one of the most beautiful feelings in the world. And it's a gift you can give yourself by being present to how you currently are. And so these are 3 really, really critical ways of how you can start changing your relationship with yourself and start moving towards not being lonely in life. And I trust this has added value to where you're currently at. So once again, move from being obsessed with screens. Start seeing more faces than screens on a day-to-day basis. Make sure the faces that you see are in the real world, not just projected to you on a television or computer. Next, go from being daydreaming about all the past relationships you have to start utilizing and minding the current relationships you have today. And then lastly, move from avoiding yourself to being present to how you're feeling now. And by doing these 3 shifts, trust that you'll move from being lonely to feeling like you've got a sense of having your own back. And that's the goal of this video. The overarching goal is for you to leave this feeling like you've got your own back. Because when we're lonely, we don't feel like we've got anybody. But when you got you, fuck, that is powerful.